I actually started out just doing, I got into a lot of street fights, so my buddy John N, who's now, who does stunt fighting now for movies, is the one that said, hey man, why don't you do kickboxing with me, we'll just go into tournaments, because at tournaments, you could actually just pay and you could, it was full contact, you could just knock them out and no one got arrested, the cops didn't come, so it's just like. It kind of took place when I was about like 16, because we moved to a place called Bronx, Virginia. And like, there's nothing to do out there. And then all people do, it's a country, man. Like, just to tell you how country Roanoke is, you had to pass hunter safety to pass 7th grade phys ed. I mean, we literally had to take hunter safety. It was hilarious, man. I loved it. And you know, there wasn't many Asians there. I was probably like maybe one of 4 Asians. Most of the Asians there had like either like dry cleaning business or owned an Asian restaurant. So, you know, and there's nothing to do. Everybody just either get drunk and fight. That's just the way it was in the country. And it wasn't like they were mad or angry, just bored. But you know, sometimes we just fight too much and the cops would just break it up and get brought home by the cops. And our parents weren't happy, and I was scared of my dad more than I was scared of anybody else. So my buddy John N offered to straighten me out and said, hey man, just do kickboxing with me and I'll take you to these full contact fights and you won't get in trouble. You can win cool stuff like trophies. And I was like, oh, awesome, I'll do it. So I got into kickboxing, and then I went to Radford University, and they didn't have kickboxing. They didn't have any. All they had was a judo club. So I went to the judo classes, the only thing they had, and I remember going to nationals. I moved up, got my black belt in judo, and I remember going to nationals, and like, God, it must have been '95. I was at nationals. And I was like, why is there a blue belt in the black belt division? You know, like, why is he here? And he was a Gracie blue belt, but I didn't know that. I mean, I kind of knew what the Gracies were, but you didn't see them because there weren't that many Gracies, and then to see a blue belt was like, it was like spotting a unicorn back in the day at that time. And I remember I was like, oh, I got this. And I watched him. He caught everybody in the same move, flying armbar, every single time. And I was like, oh, there's no way this guy's going to catch me. I went to throw him. 10 seconds later, he slapped in a flying armbar, and I was like, holy shit, I need to learn this. So we started ordering like all these bootleg tapes from like Brazil with just like MMA fights that had some grappling in it. And then I remember Health Gracie had some tapes, like the blue belt Gracie Jiu Jitsu system. And I remember seeing that. And then one of my buddies was like, dude, you gotta go up to Enzo's. That was like the first place on the East Coast. And I was like, all right. And at the time, my sister lived up here. And saved up some money for the summer and came and trained with Enzo for the summer. And that was almost 20 years ago when I started this journey. And that's when I truly learned humility. Like, it was unbelievable. I remember first time I get there, I'm like maybe, probably about 190, 200. I was a pretty big kid. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to stomp everybody. Puts me with a 15-year-old. And I'm like, why is he doing this? This is a joke. That kid commenced to whooping my ass and tapping me probably like every 30 seconds. I was just, oh my God, this little 15-year-old is working. I'm a grown-ass man getting worked over by a juvenile. And then my ego was still intact. I was like, oh, that's not going to happen again. Then he puts me, I'll never forget, he puts me with this 6-foot-tall accountant. Goofy guy, had glasses on. Probably like 6 foot, maybe like 170, really skinny. I was like, oh, I got this dude. That dude commenced to tear me up, tapping me every minute I was tapping him. That's when I realized, I was like, holy shit, I'm not invincible. This sport is awesome. At that moment, I was truly humble, and I was like, man, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm going to train and just learn as much as I can while I can and give back at the same time, because the great thing about this community is everybody's so helpful. It's like, you know, most sports people try and put each other down if they're on opposite teams and stuff, but here, even if you're part of different associations, people still help each other out, they still train together, and it's just amazing. And that's where the journey began, and I've been like pretty much a jiu-jitsu nomad. You know, I like to travel and seek for the knowledge. I think it'd be crazy to limit myself to one school, because when you travel from east to west coast, or when I travel to Japan or Germany to train, or Italy, man, everybody has this different style, and you can pick up something new no matter how many years I've done this. Like even today, just rolling here, I picked up another tip on sweeps. And then when I was at Marcelo's last night, just the way he showed to climb out on the mount to set up a triangle, he's like, I've been doing it wrong for 20 years and now it's just clicking, and that's the great thing about jiu-jitsu. When you think you have something kind of down and you come back to it, it is that full circle. You feel like a light bulb again. And that's just what makes this an amazing sport, because you can never learn everything in this sport, and it'll never get dull. And even when you think you've learned anything, by that time you forgot something else as soon as you learn it again. Interesting. We had Barry Smiles, who was coach of the Radford team. And he was part of the English team from England. And man, his judo, they incorporated 80% grappling and only 20% throws. Because it was really weird, because he got injured so bad from doing tons of throws and busted up his knees that he didn't want us to go through the same thing. So we did a lot of Iwasa, we did a lot of grappling. And he just showed several basic moves so we wouldn't suffer the injuries he did in judo. And it was awesome. But you know, even after I did Sambo, judo, jiu-jitsu, all my injuries came from judo, because you're always trying to stop the throw and you're always landing funky, and it's just because you don't want to get pinned on your back, you know, because someone throws you once, the match is over, and you spend all that time training, all that time traveling to get there, and that can be over in one throw. So that's where most of my injuries came from. So it was nice. It was a nice relief that jiu-jitsu, oh my God, I can play off my back, I can relax, you know, my injury rates didn't go up. And that's when it's just a complete sport.
Just try. Love it. That's it.
It's the mental aspect. The fact that every day someone's going to be better than you. You're not going to be top dog every day. And it's a good thing. Because when you're not focused on being the top dog or number one, you can actually open up your mind to learning something. Yeah, dude. Until this day, man, white through black belts with that. It's amazing, man. Especially the level that the white belts are now. I mean, if you asked me 10 years ago, hey, would you be teaching like Berimbolo to white belts? I'd be like, are you crazy? Now these guys are hitting all these Berimbolo guards and white belt divisions and getting submissions. It's amazing at the rate and the knowledge they have. And a lot of that's due to social media. You can pull up YouTube and watch tons of great matches. You can watch great instructional videos to kind of broaden your horizon. You know, I mean, back then you were lucky to get a VHS tape, and I know some of these people right now are watching like, what's VHS? And that's the funny thing. I mean, I can remember we had a guy at Radford who used to met some Brazilian on AOL, American Online. If some people want, yeah, way back in the day, I just dated myself. And he worked out a deal to where he would send them American jeans, like regular blue jeans, to get these bootleg, like instructional and fight tapes from Brazil. And all of them were in Portuguese. We didn't understand them, but we could watch the concepts, and that's what we did for a long time. Yeah. And then back then, you know, you had to fly or drive like maybe 10 hours just to train the blue belt. I mean, rarely saw a blue belt. And then to see browns and black belts, I mean, the first time I saw them when I came to Enzo's, I was like, oh my God. And the level was crazy. Back then, blue belts were very, very technical for the simple fact we didn't have all these crazy moves. There was basically like a closed guard, a half guard, and a butterfly guard. There was really 3 guards people used, you know. Now we got all sorts of crazy guards. You know, you got the worm guard, the spider guard. But when we all first started, there was only 3 guards that really taught you. And that's what you did for like 2 or 3 years, man. You really honed in your skills on those guards. It's really good to see old school mixed with new school, because you're starting to see it come back. You're starting to see a lot of good half guards come back, a lot of great closed guards, and it's just a circle of life, man. It's constant.
Good stuff, good stuff. Go, 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 go. They had you, bro. They had me. Looks like he wants to break it up. Oh. Come on.
We are doing it as a sport. That's why you go to tournaments and you train these. You have sports, and I think it's great we have all these new young guns coming up inventing these guards, like the worm guard and Berimbolos. I mean, they're fun to watch, regardless of what you're saying. When you start bringing the self-defense aspect, that would be like a man who's a marksman saying, hey, why don't you learn how to shoot? That's the best self-defense you can do. Go get a gun, you don't need martial art, and that's the fight. Like, you're right, at the end of the day, I might as well learn how to shoot. That's the best self-defense. Or being aware of my surroundings. You can't say, oh, that guard's trash because it wouldn't work in the streets. Well, that's saying like your guard that you train now, or the jiu-jitsu you train now is trash. It wouldn't work in a gunfight. It's the same argument. The sport's what keeps people interested in it. It's what's great. And yes, it's like we're secretly learning self-defense too. And the guys that do all these new guards, they still know the traditional ones. They're not skating away from it. but they know how to play the game. They're making it entertaining. It's inventive, and that's what we want to see. That's the way the sport progresses. My problem was finding a place where I could seek the knowledge. You know, to me with Jiu Jitsu, there's so much to learn, and what happens is if we fall into kind of like that cult mentality that we're only going to learn what's in our school, and then I have to find an association where I'm going to travel to so I don't make my instructor mad. I think that's crazy in a sense. I mean, yes, I get tradition, but I'm very open-minded when it comes to training and learning. Like, when people come and ask me something, I look myself as a library. I'm a tool you can use to ask me a question to learn how to do a certain move, and I'll give you my take on it. I'll give you the most knowledge I have on that subject. And it's not the end-all, be-all. And I think when instructors start limiting their students like that, not only does it limits what they learn and how fast they learn, but it also builds up this stress and almost an animosity, because like, if you're so worried about disappointing your instructor just to go train someone, that's a heavy stress level. At the end of the day, people are paying you to teach them jiu-jitsu. If you look at it at the end of the day, it's a business. I'm paying you to teach me something, not judge me, and not tell me who I can and can't train with, because I'm an adult. Yes, this is my home base. It's not like I'm going to split and open up my own club. I just choose to search for the knowledge, and I think, you know, it's really helped out having the whole Classy Grappler. There's no names associated. I mean, half the time people think I'm a fictitious character, which is great, and you know, they think like, did he get his black belt on Amazon? I mean, it's a funny thing, but when I go to different schools, no one says, oh, it's so-and-so from this association. Like, oh, it's that Classy Grappler guy. And there's really like no animosity, because it's not like, oh, I got to prove myself to this guy, or he's from this association. There's really, it takes a lot out of it when you kind of go in as a fictional character. And I really like that, because I think once people get to know me, I'm here just for the love of the sport, man. Like, you'll never see me sad on the mat. Never. I've never been sad on the mat. Even when I've had bones broken, been put to sleep and waking up, I still wake up with a smile. Even when my shoulder was popped out and like my shoulder was near my ear, I was still like, man, that was a great arm bar. And I was like, oh God.
Let go of your arm. Push his knee up. Leg down. Nice, Eddie.
I have a lot of buddies in law enforcement, all right? And a lot of them had to go to college to be a good officer, right? They have to learn a lot. You need to learn to read, write. I mean, you guys do a lot of paperwork. Holy crap. And you wouldn't say, oh my God, you're only going to do criminal justice. That's all you're going to learn. You can't take any other courses in college because you're going to be a cop. You're only going to do criminal justice. Well, dude, there's a psychology behind that. Why wouldn't I take some psychology courses to be a better cop? Wouldn't you want to learn every aspect to not only, one, be a better student, but to be a better instructor? Because eventually, you're going to become an instructor. You're going to be teaching whether you know it or not. Even as blue belts, when you're helping out the white belts or you're helping out other blue belts, you're teaching. You don't even realize it. And if you go out there and you search for more knowledge, which I think you really should, you can bring back better stuff, which will improve the school and make it stronger at the end of the day. And to me, it's when I go and I train everywhere, I go back to all the schools in Texas and I show what I learned. It's not to be like, oh, you know, this is so we can go out there and beat. It's not about that. It's so we can expand. And my goal is to make the sport better in Texas, so we have all this knowledge. And everything I do, I don't hide it. Like anytime I do a seminar, anytime I teach, I let people tape it. Because the people who say, oh, you know, you can't tape, I don't want you taping this stuff, trust me. I can Google it, or I can put it on YouTube, and your stuff's already out there. Whether it's in a competition or whether someone's filmed someone else doing it. There really are no secrets of social media anymore. There's really nothing to hide. I mean, unless you know the 5-finger death touch that you're not showing us, then all right, that's fine. But see, I can even Google that and I can find the 5-finger death touch somewhere on YouTube. Dude, black belt was, it's one of those things, especially when you start, like when I started in the 90s, you never thought you'd ever see a black belt because you rarely saw blue belts. And to actually get your black belt, it was cool, but in a sense, it sucked because now everybody's gunning for you. All the brown belts in the class, for some reason, now pick. Like, dude, I remember when I got my black belt, the brown belts that didn't get their black belt that day, they became all of a sudden animals. Like, they became like the hardest grapplers in there because they felt like they had something to prove. And then when you traveled with that black belt, oh my God, dude, you were constantly being tested by every other school. And it was cool and exciting. And it was just, it's an accomplishment because I had an old school black belt where it took 10 years to get it. You know, it wasn't one of those where it's like, you have these phenoms now that do it in 4 years, and there's nothing against it. I think that's awesome. I think the sport's progressed that much that people can get it in 3.5 to 4 years. I don't knock it like my buddy Kit Dale. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna level with you guys. If you guys don't know, yeah, we're friends. Secrets out, guys. Man, when I roll with him, he got his in like, what, 4 years maybe? Something like that? He's a freaking animal, man. And like, dude, it's a different level when you roll with someone like that. People like really question his ability to roll. Just, dude, I'd suggest get a plane ticket to Australia, go down there, and the dude's legit. Come on.
He's lucky off. He wants to do the whole thing. You did it 7 times last time. You want to do 10 this time.
Because you have people, like I had a buddy that was becoming a surgeon. And I mean, dude, he can maybe come in once or twice a week because, dude, he's pulling rotations. I mean, he's doing a lot of shit. And it's tough to make it in. But guess what? When it came time to roll, he had the ability to be a black belt. But because he wasn't at class as much, they were kind of like, oh, we should hold him back. But, dude, he was just one of those guys that was just a natural that could pick it up. And he was beating all the other black belts. And he was great at teaching. And I was just like, no, he should be a black belt. But God forbid you promote someone too early and then other students in the class are like, he's never here, how did he get his black belt before me? Or then you hear another school like, how did that guy get a black belt so quick? And it's just, instead of people like downing on him, like it's really weird now, like that whole thing that started with all these early black belts, people got like all upset because you can get it early. That made no sense to me, and here's the best perspective. They're called prodigies. There's people, every now and then you're going to have a prodigy in any sport or anything you do. You wouldn't down an 8-year-old kid who could play Mozart on the piano, who's never touched the piano, gets up, listens to it, and starts playing, and be like, this kid sucks, he shouldn't be able to play that early. He's not a professional. Well, he's playing at Carnegie Hall. He's 8 years old. He's a prodigy, and you're going to have that. And anything you do, whether it's shooting, whether it's writing poetry, whether it's painting, whether it's jiu-jitsu, you're going to have prodigies where people excel faster than others. And instead of downing them, I think you should really support that person because, man, the fact that they could pick it up quick, maybe they could show us a faster way to learn it because their brain's operating at a different level which we don't understand. And I wish we would do more of that instead of questioning how fast someone got their black belt. Because in this sport, it'll show on the mats. You cannot hide it at a competition level. And here's another thing. I met black belts that were okay at rolling, but were phenomenal instructors. They can do the technique and they can convey it to where everybody understands it. And I think you need a balance for that when you're rating someone. I mean, if you're a phenomenal instructor, or you have some disabilities where like you can't compete, or as you're getting older, I mean, it's tough, joints ache, you can't go on there, you can't go 110% every time. But man, you can teach the hell out of a class. Yeah, you're still a legit black belt in my eyes. Jiu-Jitsu can be very, very unforgiving if you're trying to portray yourself as something you're not. That would be an illegitimate black belt, putting on a black belt, and especially going to a different school, like here at Shaolin, that no one's ever heard of. And then what he does is he picks the lower belts to roll with first and just tries to beat up on them. And then just gets annihilated by blues and purples. Like, it shouldn't happen. And it shows there's nothing you can fake in this sport. Trust me, I've thought of a million ways. I've tried Jedi mind tricks. It doesn't help you pass guard. None of that works. It's technique, ladies and gentlemen. Hard work and technique wins every day of the week. There are no shortcuts in the sport, and that's why I think people love it. Because there is no easy route. You get in there and you grind. If you want to be a champ, you got to put in a lot of time. If you want to be world class, you put in a lot of time, and that's the reason. Like every guy that's in the top 3 of their weight class, it's amazing. People don't realize how much of their life they give to the sport. Me, I'm lucky. I give a little bit, but I'm mostly here to entertain. Those guys truly dedicate their life to this sport and their craft, and it shows. And guys like that, you have black belts, and then you have the black belts that destroy every other black belt. And it's just amazing when you watch those guys, and you watch them in like their first prelim matches before they get to the quarterfinals of any like IBJJF or any Grappler's Quest. They just smoke through the first half guys like they were nothing. And then when they get to like the semifinals and the finals, you see the most exciting fights because these guys are at equal level and they are going for it, man. They're going for subs, they're going for transitions. And you just know to be at that level, to beat some of the people they beat that easily, you're truly a master of your craft. Shaolin's one of the originals, man. He was one of the first people I actually saw on videos. This was way before YouTube time. I'm talking VHS. We had to get this stuff from like Brazil when they had the Worlds and stuff. And I'll never forget, man, some of his showings he had, if you look at 97, and then if you look at when he did 2001, where I believe he went against Tetere, and it was amazing. Just watching the way he's, like people talk about pressure passing now, just the way he would always grind for that pass, man. He was so relentless. And you could see the intensity, but yet the gracefulness of when he rolled, it was just amazing. And like all this old school guys, remember Shaolin, his passing style was just so epic, man. Just watching him work the passing was amazing. And his speed and the gracefulness and the power all at the same time. It was just, and you could see this intensity in his face. But then it was really cool to kind of see him like once the match was over, like the big smile on his face, how that like, someone you'd be like, oh my God, I'm scared of this guy. And the intensity is gone. It was just for the matches. He could reach deep down and get this great intensity as competition. That's what it takes to be a world-class, competitor. And then once it was over, it was just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Very friendly, very awesome. And when I found out he was here, when I came in, what was it, like 2012? I was like, oh my God. And then when I found out he had a school in New York, was when I got to come in and train. It was like being a fanboy. I was like starstruck. I was like, oh my God, you don't know how much I wanted to train here. And the coolest thing was he was so nice, like super nice guy. Like I've never like, it was just so awesome that someone that with his accomplishment and the stuff that he's done in the sport and for the sport can be completely humble. And that's what I talk about, the humility of the sport, man. Is that you meet a guy that you see as this like tough, almost scary guy when he competes because he's so intense. And then when he's not competing, he's just the most generous, nice guy. Let me train you. Lets me come in whenever I want to train with everybody. Just open arms, man. You rarely see that anymore. It's just, I can never say enough nice things about the guy. And he's just been so cool with me, and it's really awesome to see, like, not only he went from this awesome Jiu Jitsu competitor and then had this awesome MMA career, became a fighter. Now he's coaching, now he's a father. And not only is he a father to his family, but his Jiu Jitsu family is a father figure. And he's kind of like a brother to me. It's just awesome to see that type of love. And unless you do this sport, you really don't get it. Like when we call each other brother, man, we really mean it because we would do anything for everybody we sweat and bleed with on the mats. And it's just amazing that like I wish he was in Houston, Texas. I would train with him every day if I could. It would just be like, I'm gonna go train with some of my best friends and just go hit some rolls and learn a lot. And no matter how much I think I've learned and how, out of all the 20 years I've been doing this sport, like I said, just when he went over the sweep today, there was just details I forgot about. And he is such a wealth of information and doesn't hold anything back. And if I have a question, he answers it. It's amazing because back in the day, everybody's like, oh, the Brazilians, they won't teach you all the secrets, they're hiding it. Man, Victor, he never hides anything. You ask him a question, he'll show you. And I just think it's amazing to watch the progression. As we start aging and getting older, and it's funny to see the roles we have in the sport, the roles we have in the jiu-jitsu community. Man, he's done a phenomenal job. He's built a phenomenal team and a great facility, man. I can never say enough good things about the guy.
Well, what do you think?
Any
Take a little walk?
Anywhere. I'm good with whatever.
Just walk ahead of me a little bit, brother, so I get some footage of you. I'm sure we'll run into something on this avenue. It's so freaking huge.